So I'll walk through, just the same information I give, like besides the maintenance, will apply to the operators. So just points to note, this plate here, these bolts, they've got a rubber bushing inside, but they do get hit sometimes. So if you see it, it's better to catch it and try to extract the bolt right away than to leave it and let it build up, because then you're going to be spending hours trying to extract this plate here. The other thing, this is common sense, but it has to be mentioned. Having rocks get jammed up in here between this cylinder. If you have a rock that falls in here, you don't always catch it, but you'll shear the cylinder, right? As you're opening and closing, it can get caught. Even on the curl, like it will get caught.
That would be like a daily check for it.
Gonna take that
First
off.
thing in the morning.
Oh, I got it?
Yeah, somebody got it. Yeah. So that's it for the boom. Everything else besides the hoses up top, they're pretty good. I haven't seen any issues there. When you have the bucket on, because you can literally scratch your ass with this thing. Bear in mind the main cylinder. There's no guards on those, so just be like whoever the operator is conscious. So I'll move to the thumb. This here, it's got shutoffs on it, and as I was explaining, there's no holding valve. So this will sat overnight. You leave it, your thumb. So if you have
That was real important.
the skid plate on it,
Mm-hmm.
or skid bucket, sorry, and you have it flooded up to the machine, if you leave it by the morning time, it will be in your grill. So if like just to get into a good habit, I was saying, just shut them off with the valves, and when you need to use them, turn them off. Like that's the easiest way. When you're done, shut them off, have them in the upright position.
Okay.
These plates here, you'll want to check the bolts every once in a while. They do vibrate. There's a lot of vibration in the machine.
Bolts holding on this cover plate.
Yeah, because what you don't want is you don't want the bolts to come out, then the cover plate falls, and then you get it jammed up. And like this is thick metal, so you're going to do more damage to that than this, but it does protect the cylinder that's there. So you want that. Now we'll move on this side here. For your track, you guys know how to tension the track. Obviously, the
Grease fitting.
grease fitting inside the hole. Tension it. When you have it lifted up, you should have got a yellow bag with like wrenches in it. Maybe did you get one?
Do you see yellow bag? No, I haven't seen one
I
either.
remember dropping one. Giving it. Did you pick up those?
I did.
You did.
Go
Did
Oh.
they give it to you?
to the machine.
They probably would have went in there. Check out behind the seat or something.
With the operator's manual and everything like that.
Yeah, I think it's in there somewhere. It's
I saw a manual because that's how I looked at that fall.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's in there somewhere.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So for the track, when you tension the track,
I think there was just this though.
there should have been a
Yellow?
Yeah, yellow bag. No? Either way, we'll send one out. When you lift the machine up, thank you. When you lift the machine up to tension the track, you want it about that far from the bottom idler.
Okay.
Or roller, or whatever you'd like to call it. Don't send the grease all the way to it so the track is so tight. But the machine has to be lifted when
Yeah.
you do the tension. You don't want it too tight because you're going to end up stretching out the track prematurely.
Yeah.
So you want some further. These bolts here, not that they are a concern, but they are a maintenance item. So for this final drive, you'll want to torque those. Those are 150 foot-pounds of torque. Just go over them. They're just a size 12 Allen.
Allen key.
Yeah, 10 or 12. I can't
Okay.
tell. You just go over them and you just torque them.
How often is that? Monthly?
100 hours.
100 hours? Okay.
Yeah. So whatever you do, like that could be 3 months, 6
Okay.
months,
Yep.
whatever. For your final drives, make sure you only use synthetic gear oil in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's just a drain and fill like anything else. And it tells you your level. Like this will be This will be at a 90 degree normal,
Yeah.
like anything else, right?
Yep.
So after your first 100 hours, make sure you drain them and then fill them. Then after that, it's with every service. So 500,000, 15. So
Okay.
it's- So
This one wasn't new when we got it. It had hours.
how many hours on it? I would have done it. Like if I serviced
That's
the
what I'm
machine,
wondering.
I would have already done it. But just
I don't think it had 100 on it. I think it had
Okay.
like 60.
I don't remember.
60.
I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh,
We
so
could
it
turn the
would've
key
been
and find
50.
out and just
Yeah.
take about 20 hours off of
Yeah.
whatever it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed your coolant's low, so I'm gonna look into that and see why it's like that.
'Kay.
'Cause it shouldn't be like that. This is your water separator. Once a week, this should be drained.
Once a week?
Once a week.
Okay, what encompasses draining it?
So there's a plug here. If you have a look, this plug, there's a it's been zip tied, but there's a metal tab. You
Yep.
you push the tab in, you separate it, you untwist this until it starts dripping out.
Yeah.
You can take it off fully if you really want to. It's up to you. You let it drain out, you turn it, you put it back
Okay.
in, put the plug back in. This fuel system here, when you are doing the service on it, don't fill the filters. This has a self-priming.
Okay.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
yeah, so you just crank your filters on, you'll turn the key, it's like a vehicle, and you'll hear it go, your pickup pump, and it will actually fill everything. Once you hear the tone change, you know that it's been primed. And
Yeah.
you'll know the tone's changed, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you've got your regular 1540 that goes in here. Now on this plate here, most people miss this, but this is all the coolant that you can use. They're all the different companies, different types. Stick to that.
Yep.
Their label every single one.
Yeah, like
There's a
try to
lot
stick
of
to
them.
it. So the most important thing is nitrite free, extended life. Not like I always point to people because they'll be like, I'll just use this coolant. All coolants are different, but nitrite free is what's most important
Okay.
because that's usually typically pink or red coolant. So yeah, so there's that. That's easy. Obviously the sight glass, the hydraulics. When it's in its retracted position, like that, sight
Where's
glass
the
should-
sight glass for hydraulics?
right here.
Okay.
So when it's in its retracted position, blade up, cylinders basically how it sits now. You want that to be halfway, so you are a little low.
'Kay.
So we'll top that up there. And then just on the top, in the summertime, just remember, take a pressure washer, wash out the rat that's up there that's for the AC. So,
Okay.
most guys appreciate their ACs.
I do.
The rat's up there.
Yeah, so you just give it a wash out because you'll have dust and dirt and debris.
You spray it from down here?
Yeah, you just spray it with the pressure washer. Don't get it don't jam it with the pressure washer.
Because
But
that
like,
would fuck the fins up, right?
yeah, like if you're this far away, you'll be okay.
Use this low pressure one. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like whatever you have. Like we have our trucks, they go up to like 3,200 psi, 3,000 somewhere around there, and they're solid like a solid 3,000 the whole time. And I'll stand back like here with the wand and just watch it.
Okay.
There's no damage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is-
So, and then about washing, we're gonna move on to your cooler. This is a 3-in-1 cooler. So you have your air-to-air, hydraulic, and coolant in this cooler. Because it sucks the air out, this dirt and debris will go in from the back side. And most they're dirty from the front. So when you're washing, all of this here can be washed. Just anything that's electrical, don't directly point at it, but try to get in behind there and over here.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you just keep going back and forth.
There's no way to access it,
You can go this way.
but it's all coming from this side.
Yeah, the dirt's coming from this side.
If it's
So-
coming from this side, is it better to go from that side? To
You
push
can
it
go.
back
You can
out?
go. Yeah, yeah. No, you want to wash this way.
Okay.
But you also wanna wash what's out there, cause once it dries, you're just gonna blow it back in. Yeah, so you try to do both.
And it all falls out the bottom, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, but
Yeah.
as you can see, it does collect a bit.
Yep.
So it's not, and because this machine has very low hours, things to note are, just keep an eye on these. You might get a leak or two, right? In here.
Is that indicating a leak?
This, well, this looks like grease to me, but it's hard to tell.
There's a couple.
Yeah, so that's something just to check.
So you just put a wrench on it
Yeah.
and give it a, right?
A little,
Yeah.
But if you can see, there are steel lines, and putting a wrench in there
That's what I'm thinking.
is going to be hard. So I would recommend getting that size. This is what I tell everybody, because like you guys are hours away.
Yeah.
And modifying the wrench or using a pro foot of some kind,
Just to grind down the sides a little bit,
Yeah.
make it as tiny as possible.
tiny as possible,
Yep.
just to get it.
Oh, we fuck with tools all the
We're good
time.
at
Yeah.
modifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Honestly, you
Yeah.
have to. So there's that, and then of course I was going to mention this is your thermal here for your battery.
Yeah, I've seen
Um,
that.
So if your battery's overheating, but you touch it and it's not too hot, like it's not abnormally hot, then chances are that this is faulty. Guys will bypass this.
Yeah.
Usually because it's just a through. So
It's
they'll-
not usually a sensor in those batteries.
right, and so they'll bypass it, and then that's that.
Why would Mecalac opt to put a sensor on this battery?
So
Because where the rod is, because it's
They
pushing
know
heat.
It's a failure point.
well, it's pushing heat over, but the other thing is that these are European machines, and in Europe, their safety standards and emissions and all of that is way higher than anywhere here. So it's better that they put that in place.
Gotcha.
You know, they also have, with the machines, they'll have grounding cables on them, because a lot of their stuff is rail. Like it's all rail over there and where the machines work. So just in case, and that would be
Oh, I
part of it.
gotcha.
So if you're overcharging it, if they're touching or something like that, something happens, it's all part of the safety standard.
Gotcha.
You know, in the winter time, it's always good to make sure you kill the battery.
Is there any grease fittings that everyone forgets about?
Yeah, there's these two here, and so
Yeah,
this will
those would be
go.
ones.
They'll go to your slew ring. Thing to note: whoever's greasing it, just tell them, just give it a few shots. Like the machine needs to be greased once a week minimum.
Yep.
Like it's every I think it's like 15 hours or something like
Once
that.
a week minimum.
Yeah, like the more grease the better.
Yeah.
Like machines love grease,
Yeah.
right? Except for the slew ring. The slew ring, you want to grease it, but don't over grease it, because once you start blowing those seals out, it's going to cause you're going to get sloppy and everything like that. And that's the
So
main one.
those ones should be only you greasing.
So
This is for the slew ring?
one of them is for the slew ring.
One
so
of them.
So
Which
it should
one?
so it should be one on each side, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks like somebody's already hit one of the grease fittings underneath.
Oh, we already killed one?
One's already killed. But bear with me for a second. Let me see the other side. I can't see. Yeah, so this one only has the one. Will be in the, so one will go to your grease box, which is inside the slew. But there should be a hose at some time on that.
Oh.
So that should be a grease fitting right there.
But there's no hose hanging or anything.
No, but it will be in the plate. Let me grab my phone so I can get a light.
Oops.
The grease ones I get missed are the ones up here. These ones, because so the position that the boom is in now,
Okay.
this is the position that you want it to be in when you're greasing the machine.
Okay.
So, because then you'll be able to hit those ones, you'll hit these ones here, these ones down there, those red fat ones, they get hit. Okay. The blade needs to go down, because there's actually one up top here that's covered in dirt. That one over
One there.
There's
Okay.
one, so for every cylinder, there should be two.
Every pivot point.
Yeah, every pivot point, there'll be a grease fitting.
Okay.
So if you see that it moves, chances are it gets grease.
Which one is it, like, so is it gonna be this one that isn't supposed to get a lot of grease?
Yeah, so that one there and the ones inside there.
And those are going somewhere. They're
Yeah,
just
they
not
go,
going where you
so,
thought.
yeah, so one is actually going to the top side of the slew ring here, and then the other one is going to the gearbox, which they call the grease box, attached to the inside, so that's where your pinion gear will be inside the ring.
Okay.
So that's where that shot of grease is going.
Okay.
So if you look under the boom here, you'll see, you see that 90 degree that's just sitting flat? So that's that one, which will go to where the bolts are,
Okay.
the 90 degree.
Yeah, I
right
see
where
it
that lead
there.
is. And then, so that'll go to where the outside ring, and then the other one will go to the grease box on the inside.
Okay.
Now if you look above your head,
Two
these,
more, yeah.
these two here, yeah, go on. Yeah, these ones here, those two are ones that people get all the time, but they forget the other ones, because usually when they grease the machine, the machine's up.
Just, oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll have those two. So wherever there's a pin, there's a grease fitting. How many in total? I'm not 100%.
A lot.
There's a lot. So that's the greasing. Just make sure you run through everything. Obviously for the split here, there's two. The pin up here, you'll have one on each side. Okay. So one here and one here.
Yeah.
These ones get missed a lot actually, believe it or not. You have one here, and then in here, that's one. And then as of down here, you won't have any here for these. But there are grease nipples which are supposed to be for those, but they live inside, like behind this plate. So this one, actually, you can see it. It's a bad design.
What's that
See,
plate
yeah,
meaning?
yeah.
Is it
that's-
supposed to?
No, because that would mean that these bolts are loose. They've backed off. So, and that's just from repetitive.
Well, you said earlier, these are a big checkpoint.
Yeah, I would crank down on these a little bit more. So inside here, just beneath that bolt, can you see the nipple?
One in there.
Yeah. So if you are going to grease the machine and you're going to do this point, take that plate off.
Okay.
Grease underneath, put the plate back on. Then that way, it's actually something that you've insured. You've tightened them and you've gone
okay.
over them.
Gotcha.
Just makes it easier. Right?
Gotcha.
You're going to do that.
Yeah.
Then so you got one here, and then inside the pin, you'll have one on
Both
each side.
sides, yeah.
Both sides. Just on the one side though. On the side that has a silver cap.
How do you keep this lead up?
The lock. No, you don't touch that.
And it doesn't seem to cause problems?
No. So they had one gen that did have a little bit of hiccups with like the holding valve inside.
Okay.
But other than that, they generally don't cause any problems.
Where's the sensor that says that's hot?
It works on hydraulic pressure, which will go
It's a pressure sensor somewhere.
Okay, we'll go back. So they belong to these here. This is the P, I think this is 16. So P16 and P28. Looks like you got a little bit of a leak here. So P16 and P28, they deal with the overhang and the locking. They all come, so that will control down there. Is up here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll have that, but it will tell you on the thing if you have issues. Like the screen will tell you.
Yeah, if the lock's not right or whatever.
Yeah. So I've never seen any issues that are like stand out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, hey, I need to tell you guys about this.
Okay.
So that's it for that. Yeah.
Check the maxi fuse.
So if we lose power, there's a fuse under here. Replace it. It's called a maxi fuse. Get it anywhere. And the filter that we never remember about is right down.
hydraulic filter.
The hydraulic filter is right down there. Right there. That's directly under the exhaust pipe.